Hello everybody, curriculum for young children. Today under this topic we are going to deal with the lesson curriculum planning. The objective of this lesson is to understand the aims, goals and need for curriculum planning, to understand the Bloom's classification of educational objectives, to understand the factors and principles in curriculum planning, and to understand the guidelines for planning the early childhood educational curriculum content. Curriculum. What do we understand by the word curriculum? Curriculum is broadly defined as the totality of students' experiences that occur in the educational process. The term often refers to specifically planned sequence of instruction or to a view of the students' experiences in terms of educators or the school's instructional goals. Curriculum may incorporate the planned interaction of the pupil with the instructional content, material and resources, and also the processes for evaluating the attainment of educational objectives. That is curriculum. Now, we will see what do we understand curriculum planning. Curriculum planning is a process whereby the advanced arrangement of learning opportunities for a particular population of learners is created. Any curriculum should clarify, explain, guide and should not be rigid and flexible. The teacher must view curriculum as a process of planning, the best possible program for the children, the parents and also for the teacher. Planning. Planning a program is the process of curriculum and suggests its dynamic nature. The teacher should choose and develop a curriculum, a written document incorporating the guidelines, the activities, the policies and the philosophy as a basis for the classroom program. The aims and goals in curriculum planning. Curriculum planning aims at the statement that describes the expected outcomes basing on the values either consciously or unconsciously borrowed from a philosophy. Their unique feature is that they do not relate directly to school or directly to the classroom situations. The curriculum aims are classified into 4 related categories. The first category takes form of a central value pattern. This type of aim represents a philosophical position and forms the basis for development of certain values in the individual. The other 3 categories of the aim are classified as those proposing a preferred social organization and explication of the preferred social roles and preferred lifestyles. The first category of the aim functions as controlling mechanism for the latter 3 categories. The National Policy of Education identified the curriculum goals are the inculcation of permanent literacy and numeracy and ability to communicate effectively. The second objective or the goal is laying of a sound basis for scientific and reflective thinking. The third goal is citizenship education as a basis for effective participation and contribution to the life of the society. The next one is providing basic tools for further educational advancement, including preparation for trades and crafts of the locality. So, these are the objectives or goals of the curriculum according to the National Policy of Education. Planning the curriculum gives a focus, a direction and a purpose to the activities in the center. It helps us to be clear in abilities and the skills that are being fostered in the children. When planning a curriculum, one should consider 3 broad aspects of curriculum. They are the goals, objectives and evaluation. The curriculum is planned with the themes and activities need to carry out the desired goals and objectives. The careful planning of daily and weekly activities will also help the teacher to know how the children have grown and what abilities they have acquired over certain period of time. For example, have the children gained the social skills in this period of time? Has the children understanding of different types of animals been furthered in this period of time? So, these are type of questions that can be answered through the curriculum planning. Curriculum planning renders a systematic approach to students' comprehension. It involves the application of knowledge in an effective manner. Curriculum planning endows a school to manage the continuity and development of skills and understanding the value of the content acquired at different stages across the years. The scope and sequence of the key learning areas and plans for the secondary courses are also included in the curriculum planning. The instructors plan their curriculum considering various external factors. It consists of recent trends, current issues and certain institutional requirements. Bearing these factors in mind, the instructors set their educational programs to meet the daily needs of their students. Teaching for understanding. Teaching for understanding should be a motive of the instructors. The course design should be ordered in such a way that it meets the requirements of teachers as well as the students. The teacher should articulate the coherent designs for curriculum such that the clear differentiation between the essential questions and big ideas could be made by the students. Often, the students acknowledge their own learning styles. Curriculum planning can be obliged with different learning patterns, including experiments, educational tours, research and lectures. A basic curriculum design includes the objectives, subject matter, learning experiences, evaluation approaches. A curriculum should be designed from simple to complex structure. Continuous repetitions at regular intervals should be made with respect to an effective learning process. While designing a curriculum, balance should be struck between certain topics such as work and play, community and school, the needs of individuals and the needs of society, needs of specialized education and common education. Primarily, there are 4 steps involved in curriculum development. First one is that the educational purpose or the objectives should be defined. Generalizations, topics, concepts are listed as objectives. It does not relate to the goals of the student's life. The second purpose should meet these purposes. The educational experiences should be constructed. It should be well known that whether the experiences are viable in terms of staff, the time and the facilities available in and outside the school campus. The experiences should be fabricated on account of being capable to develop thinking skills among the students. The third, organizing these educational experiences should be known, while organizing the continuity and integration should be maintained. The organizational structure of curriculum should aim at the educational efficiency. The last and the fourth point is that the attainment of these purposes should be evaluated. McCarran from the University of Limerick writes, "It is not the goal of teaching to produce results, but to create an experience in which the student can arrive at creative encounters and can be drawn out and make a meaning for himself." There is a wide range of participants in curriculum planning process. The list includes the teachers, the students, the principals, the superintendents, the boards of education, federal government, state agencies, regional organizations, the publishers, testing organizations, professionals, etc. The curriculum planning process helps all the possible participants in making their assessment manageable. Objectives or behavior objectives. They refer to an intended change to be brought about in learner. This change should be described in terms of measurable learner behavior. A behavioral objective must therefore be absolutely specific, measurable and unambiguous. Bloom have developed a sophisticated and complex classification of the objectives. This classification scheme is known as taxonomy of educational objectives, and it divides the objectives into three major domains. They are cognitive, affective and psychomotor. Now first we will have a look at the cognitive domain. The cognitive domain deals with the objectives which involves the intellectual abilities. The cognitive domain is divided into hierarchy of 6 intellectual functions from the lowest to the highest level. These mental abilities are, the first one is the knowledge. Knowledge is the simple recall of previously learned materials or the specific facts or concepts or theories or methods or anything else. Comprehension. Comprehension means the ability to grasp the meaning of the material. Application. Application is the ability to use learned material in new concrete situations. Analysis. Analysis is the ability to break down the material into its component parts so that its organizational structure will be understood. Synthesis. It is the ability to put parts together and form a new whole. Evaluation. Evaluation is the ability to judge the value of the material. Now let us move on to see the next domain, which is the affective domain. It involves the objectives which emphasize the feelings and emotions such as interest, attitude, appreciation, the methods of adjustment. This domain is divided into 5 hierarchical levels of ranging from lowest to highest level. Receiving. Receiving refers to the student's willingness to respond to a particular phenomena or stimuli. Receiving represents the lowest level of learning outcomes in affective domain. Responding. Responding refers to the active participation on part of the students to a particular phenomenon. It reflects his interest but not the commitment. Valuing. Valuing refers to the perception of the word or value in the phenomena. Organization. Organization refers to bringing together different values and resolving the conflict between them and beginning the building of an internally consistent value system. Characterization. At this level, the student has the value to a system to the extent of representing the philosophy of life. Let us now move on to see the psychomotor domain. Psychomotor domain includes those objectives that emphasize the manipulative and motor skills like the handwriting, typing, operating machinery. This domain is divided into 4 ascending levels of manipulative skills. They are observing. Observing refers to attending of performance of more experienced person. Imitating. Imitating refers to basic rudiments of the skill acquired. Practicing. Practicing refers to the repetition of sequence of phenomena as a conscious effort decreases. Adopting. Adopting refers to the perfection of skill, although the further improvement is possible. Bloom and his colleagues probably had various ideas in mind while developing their taxonomy. One idea could be such that the taxonomy would have value for the teacher planning for the curriculum, and one could check in any particular content whether the items were neglected or placed in wrong order. So, this is about the Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives. factors which influence curriculum planning are the number of children or strength in a group. Curriculum planning is mainly influenced by number of children in an ECE center, that is Early Childhood Education Center. The group should not be large. The space arrangements, the age structure of the children, the staff will be other factors which determine the curriculum planning in that group. The next factor is the duration of the program. The curriculum varies from one center to the other. The child gains through early childhood education centers when it is supplementing his home experiences. For younger age group, the duration should not exceed more than 3 to 4 hours of a day. The older age group, depending upon the type and number of activities, the duration can be planned. Age of the children. Basing on the age of the children, the activities have to be planned keeping their developmental needs in mind. For older age group children, more formal and organized group activities can be planned. The teacher-child ratio. Each child is unique with different interests, needs and capacities, and they also come from different family backgrounds. So, it is the duty of the teacher to provide individual attention so that every child feels secure and wanted. Infrastructure facilities. The curriculum depends upon the infrastructure facilities available in the early childhood education center. Good spacious building and good playground, equipment facilities for a variety of programs. The next important factor is the philosophy and objectives of early childhood education schools. It is an important aspect for curriculum planning. There are different philosophies related to early childhood education. If a teacher wants to adopt a specific system and follow their philosophy and objectives, she has to formulate a curriculum according to the philosophy that helps them to attain the goal. The next important factor is the location of the school. Depending on the location of the school, the program also can be varied. The next and most important one is the financial position of the school. Availability of funds for organizing the programs is another important factor or aspect which decides the type of curriculum. Expectations of parents and community. The teacher should form a partnership with the parents through home visits, frequent communication and welcoming attitude towards volunteering and classroom observation, and plan the curriculum accordingly. The next important factor influencing the curriculum planning is the staff training and experience. Trained and experienced teachers would be able to do the curriculum planning in a better way. And the next factor is the impact of state governments. State generally holds the power to set and enforce minimum standards and grant license to the schools and certificates to the teachers. Most states provide aid to run the early childhood educational programs also. The next important factor is the need of the child and the society. The curriculum represents both the society as well as the child's need. It should be constructed in terms of the nature of the learner and the child influence the program. So, these are the different factors influencing the curriculum planning. An appropriate curriculum should be planned based on the best knowledge of the theory, research and practice about how the children develop and learn, and attention given to the individual needs and interest in group in relation to the program goals. The theoretical framework consists of some guidelines which are based on specific assumptions about how children learn and decisions what is important to learn and when it has to be learned. So, without these, the curriculum will be ineffective or not systematic. So, we will see what are the guiding principles of early childhood education curriculum. The principles for early childhood education curriculum can be broadly classified. They are the general principles of early childhood education curriculum planning. The curriculum is related to overall program quality. It defines and clarifies so many other issues, including the teacher behavior, the questioning style, the classroom organization, and centered learning, so on. The curriculum must focus on the whole child. It must aim at overall development of the child, and play should serve as a functions for young children. Among the most important is that the primary mode for learning in early childhood is play. Children are active learners. Early childhood is really the only level of education that has been taken the developmental principles seriously and have developed a criteria and procedure for active learning. The next principle is curriculum should be flexible. Curriculum should be flexible to serve the developmental needs of the children. The length and nature of activities should depend upon the interest of the child. And the next important principle is curriculum should be balanced. A balance between individual and group activities. Each child should get an opportunity to work individually as well as in group. There should be a balance between free and organized play. There should be a balance between active and passive play. Too much of physical activities makes the children exhausted, and at the same time sedentary activities makes the children restless. So, there should be a proper balance between active and passive play. There should be a balance between large group, small group and individual activities. So, this is about the balancing of curriculum. Then the next principle is curriculum should be functional and meaningful. The program should be related to the life in community and also the society. They should include the social values, the skills approved by the society and the community. So, after knowing the general principles in curriculum planning, let us move on to see the philosophical principles. The curriculum content should be consistent with the goals and objectives of preschool education. There should be activities for the physical, motor development and exercise. There should be a sensation, perception, conception, memory, thinking, imagination and reasoning. The curriculum should also consider the social, emotional, aesthetic, creative, cultural, moral and spiritual development of the children. The children should be prepared for reading and writing. Education of the preschool child should aim for providing joyful experiences. The play should be both content and method of preschool education. Play materials, they form an important part of the curriculum as children learn through interacting through play material in their free play. The preschool curriculum must contain nature study, the field trips and learning in natural environment. Now, let us see the psychological principles. The curriculum should be constructed according to the developmental norms, that is according to the child's developmental stages. The content should be designed according to the age. The second psychological principle is that the curriculum should be constructed according to the psychological characteristics or spontaneous behavior of the children, like their curiosity, their sense of wonder, their joy, freedom and the spirit of independence. So, this is about the psychological principles in curriculum planning. Now, let us see the sociological principles. The curriculum planning should fulfill the needs of different socio-economic groups. While devising a need-based curriculum planning for compensatory preschool education, the needs of specially disadvantaged groups like the urban lower or rural lower or SCs, STs should also be given importance. The curriculum should enable each child to gain knowledge and acquire attitude that he is an active member of the society. The curriculum should be individual. the curriculum should be dynamic, flexible and suit to the local conditions. So, this is about the curriculum planning. The National Association for Education of Young Children, NAEYC, they developed guidelines for constituting appropriate curriculum content for children. The first guideline is that the curriculum should include the most current knowledge of child development and learning. That means the current research in area of child development and learning should be considered. The next one is that the curriculum should address the development and learning of the whole child. This means that the curriculum in primary grade schools must attend the social, emotional, physical goals as well as the cognitive goals. With the acquisition of knowledge and mastery of the skills, the children will be interested to apply the knowledge skills so that they can associate the feeling with learning. And the next one is that the curriculum should include broad range of content that is relevant, engaging and meaningful to the children. That means the effective curriculum develops knowledge and skills in a meaningful context, not in isolation. Learning experiences should accommodate a broad range of children's individual differences in prior experiences, their style of learning and the needs and interests of learning. The next is the curriculum should engage children actively, not passively in the learning process. That means the curriculum should build on the child's prior knowledge and learning. Curriculum should emphasize the development of children's thinking, reasoning, decision making and problem solving abilities. And the next guideline is that curriculum should respect and meet the children's physical needs, while also promoting the child's independent functioning and ability to meet their own needs. These are all the guidelines as prescribed by the National Association for Educating Young Children. So, today we have understood what is curriculum, what do we understand by the word curriculum planning, and why curriculum planning is important. Then we went on to understand what are the aims and objectives of curriculum planning and what are the factors which influence the curriculum planning. So, today we have understood that when planning for curriculum improvement, two categories of bases should be understood, those that are institutional in nature and those that affect the people directly. Hope you have understood the lesson. Thank you.